All right, what is going on? Hey, today we have Kukuri Paranormal. I hope I said that right. I've been
You did.
practicing
You
this
did.
all
You got it.
from South Texas. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing amazing.
Amazing. Thank you. We're very happy to be on today with you. This is an
Hey,
honor.
you know what? Glad, man, you guys were taking me into your home, showing me the world of Kukuri Paranormal.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, show me a little bit on what exactly you guys do down there, how things, how you guys operate, all that good stuff. But hey, let's get started. Let's tell the world a little about you guys. How you guys come up with that name and how long you guys been investigating.
Well, it the name came up because one day when we first met, we're having these paranormal experiences. So we decided, hey, you like paranormal, I like paranormal. Let's do this together. So we kind of did like our own little group. And at first, it was just Miguel and myself. We were just driving around to random spots in Texas, in San Antonio mainly,
Mhm.
and we just did like our own little investigations. And then we're like, well, we should create a Facebook page where we can put this out there for people to see, the skeptics, that don't believe in the paranormal. And
Oh, what happened there? Uh-oh. Something happened, guys. Wait, let's see if I can get them back.
there we go. Sorry about that. Anyway,
Hey, that's okay.
probably the ghost now. So my father said, well, why don't you come up with Cucu Paranormal? And I said, you know what? That's perfect. I don't really hear a lot of paranormal groups that have the Cucuy in it. And what Cucuy means is in the Latin, the Latin community, we would call it a Cucuy was the scary boogeyman in the closet, or the boogeyman under the bed. So my mom and my dad would tell us as kids, don't go over there or behave. The Cucuy's gonna get you. So when he said that, I said, hey, that is perfect. That would be perfect to put into the name, something unique. So
Well,
that's
definitely, that's definitely unique, guys. That is a name, and the good thing about it, guys, it doesn't have a city like or Texas in there. It's
right.
just something that's unique because I run across a lot of paranormal teams
Hmm.
that have Texas paranormal,
Yes.
San Antonio paranormal, whatever city that you guys are in, that's what they're repping.
Right.
But you
Right.
guys are like, yeah, man, we're gonna try something new,
Yeah,
different here.
we
Oh
didn't want
yeah,
to.
We have
and
to be different.
Yeah, we didn't want to go with that route because our plan was actually to travel everywhere, not just be stuck in the city or stuck in Texas. When we do travel across different states, the name Kukui, she grew up with it, I grew up with it, and we're from different places. She's from Texas, I'm from Pennsylvania, I'm from Philly, and I grew up with the same thing. When I misbehave, my mother will be like, "Hey, you don't do this correctly. The cuckoo's gonna get you." And, you know, and
We're very well behaved,
yeah,
mind you.
so
wow.
yeah, so we wanted we didn't want to put a city or location on our name because we are planning on traveling, going to different places, and we want to show everybody everything. Usually, from what I've noticed from other groups, they kind of show you the highlights of what they found,
Hmm.
and if you look at our page, we throw all of our pictures in there because we're not experts, I would say, as far as looking through every single image. So
Hmm.
we always believe that there's a chance that you might see something that
No, we
we're
don't.
not seeing. So when we take pictures or we take videos, we upload everything, even the stuff that where we don't think we found anything, we still upload it in case somebody else does see it. And
Mhm.
we want to be able to travel and give, and I want people to give us like recommendations, locations that they know are haunted or that might be haunted, so we can go check it out for ourselves, and then we can
Wow.
see the world what we find.
You know what, guys? You know what? A lot of teams do not think that way. Most teams just want to put, what they captured and go with that. But
Mhm.
actually putting pictures in and letting you know other people judge for themselves, because people might not. I mean, my eye. Trust me, I wear glasses half the time, and my eyes aren't that good. So you're
Right.
actually right. These guys out here might actually see something that you guys don't see.
Right. Right.
And I've actually come across that several times. He's like, "Hey, T, what is that in the corner?" I'm like, "Dude, hell, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
even
I
say
didn't even see it."
it.
You
Right,
know,
exactly. Well, that
so
happened to us at in Castroville, as a matter of fact. We went back to an old land that I used to live in Castroville, Medina County, here in San Antonio, and we were in a small group, and we got a picture of these two dark figures just standing out in the field. I didn't
mhm,
see it though until my husband saw something, and then he was like, "Well, I'm going to post it to see if anybody sees anything." And everybody was confirming that there was two shadow figures just standing there looking at us while we're walking around, checking out to see if there was any spirits. And we caught a lot of stuff actually in just that small area alone. We also caught a man standing by a tree, like a farmer with his horse, and it's a full figured horse. But I was like, well, maybe I'm just seeing stuff. Maybe it's the tree, the leaves. It could be any factor that plays into it. I want to be able to make sure, and before I go out there and say, oh, it's the spirit. But
right.
everybody who saw that picture described the same exact thing: a man in overalls, looks like a farmer, walking his horse. Everybody saw it. So I
That
was like,
is crazy. Because man, to be honest with you, I've yet to capture any. Because I know they're out there. I've
yeah,
yet to capture any ghost animals. Now I've heard people talking about haunted cats, dogs, but the full apparition of a horse,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge horse too. It looks clear, like you can tell that that would be a horse. It's not if, oh, maybe it might have like a certain shape of a horse. No, it's a horse. It's a full horse apparition of a horse with the
Wow,
armor.
that is
Yeah,
crazy. How often do you guys get I know work, you got kids. How often do you guys get out and investigate?
We don't have I guess a routine. Um, and there's times where we bring the older kids with us,
Mm-hmm.
and then by us bringing them, we end up having to cut the trip short because we do find stuff. So, like
they
for
get scared.
example, so last year I think it was around October. If you look at it in our Facebook page, uh, basically we weren't seeing anything. My wife and I, we didn't even get out of the car. We went to a spot that we thought was haunted, and we have this thing where we don't want to be breaking into private property or anything like that, and so we just stayed outside and we just waited in the car recording and taking pictures, and one of the kids got scared like
Our youngest
immediately to
did.
the point that he
Hmm.
started crying, and then everybody else got scared. And the whole time we're confused. I'm like, we haven't even left the car yet. We're still all inside the vehicle, and we don't know what he saw. But I still took pictures, and even though I didn't see nothing. And when we got back, I got a picture of it looks like a boy or a man,
Hmm.
and I was able to do like a cutout of what the
Mm-hmm.
shape looks like. So, but instead of just posting the cutout that I found, I actually uploaded the original picture so that people can see what the original picture would look like. And that's we kind of come to a standstill because we don't want to go into places that basically we don't want to trespass.
Hmm.
And if people can give us locations that basically we would
We
have
would go.
permission to go investigate, we would love to do it. We've done some overnight investigations, but those are people that call us and say, hey, can you guys do an investigation in this house or in this property? If they ask us, then we'll go. But when it comes to us trying to come up with a place to go to, we do get kind of skittish because well, first we're a minority, and second, like we're going to places that we're not familiar with, and
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only thing that we don't want is somebody calling the cops on us because we look suspicious.
We've gotten close. We've gotten close to getting pulled over, because we're driving in the areas that are dark. Like the picture that he's talking about, we actually went to the Mission Cemetery right here. Yeah, by the Mission. So we just parked right there across the street. And I said, the first time we went alone, we heard a lot of like crying from the coyotes, like real loud. It sounded almost like a woman wailing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's probably just coyotes, and he got it on video. It sounded like coyotes. But then we took that pictures and we only got like little orbs. That was about it. So then the next time we go with the kids is when we got the full apparition of a little boy wearing like an old time outfit from back, like I would say the 1900s. It almost looked like. So, and that cemetery obviously has a lot of history behind it. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of history with the Native Americans, the war, everything. Like it's just got all this kinds of stuff going on over there. Even evil things, that people bring to the cemetery, that try to do stuff. There's things that are gonna be left behind when they open portals, when they use like the Ouija board and stuff. We don't do that. We don't ever use the Ouija board. The reason why is because I've had bad experiences with that when I was younger. And I promised I would never touch it again, until I just don't like, I get so scared when I get near them. And it's because of what I went through, and it could be because I was younger. I didn't know how to use it. But after that day, I just like, I will never touch one again. So, but you can definitely sense that at the cemetery. You can sense like some of the evilness on the other side of it. Like, from it.
One thing I do know, guys, at the end of this podcast, you will have people from the South Texas area reaching out to you.
Okay.
I got friends as far as the Rio Grande Valley, Laredo, Corpus Christi, what else? San Antonio, little town called Refugio.
Oh yes, I know.
So these guys here, I mean, they are, they've been investigating for a long time, and all of them are cool. So I'm pretty sure they would have no problem reaching out to you guys or you reaching out to them, just trying to figure things out. I mean, these guys, they're cool, dude. I'm telling you.
Well, we're looking forward to it because we tried to do our own group thing, but it didn't work out only because we had a lot of people who didn't want to take it serious and they were joking around a lot. So it kind of just like dampened the whole aesthetic of ghost hunting and trying to communicate with the spirits, and it just, so Miguel and I, when we go, we usually do our ghost hunting here in our own home. Because our house is haunted.
Oh, man.
Yes, it's haunted. Pretty much everywhere we've gone, it's been haunted, but that is because they follow spirits. I recently was told by a psychic that I have the ability to communicate, and that's why they're always following us from home to home. I just learned this, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense from everything that I've experienced. It would make sense why he would say that to me, And I've been experiencing all of this since I was a child, before I could even walk, from what my father told me. So wow. I've had a lot of paranormal experiences since I was little, and so has Miguel. So that's why we kind of just, I would love though to go with another group and see how they do it, and maybe even do an investigation together, like a collab. That would be great because I would like to learn further, and I'm sure that the other groups that have been in this for a while would give us some insight on what to do and how to do things, where to go. That would be great, because like I said, we just like to put content out there of what we take pictures of. We like to be real with everybody. We don't try to be like, ghost adventurers and be like, oh God, did you hear that? Did you see this? And trying to hear for it. So we just want to say, hey, you know what? If you're a supporter, tell me, what do you see in this picture? Do you think we're full of it, or do you think you see something,
Right. Hey, are you guys able to see the comments that are popping up?
Let me see. He didn't have it on there. Let me fix it real quick. Let's see. There it is. Hello. Yes, I see in McAllen area.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Hey, Alicia, how's it going, buddy? Hey, if you can reach out to these guys, I mean, that would be great. Just show them the ropes, on how to really, get things started. Hey, 'cause I know you guys down there are very successful at what you guys do.
Yeah.
So hey, just feel free to reach out,
All right.
and help these guys out, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what it's all about.
Yes, help
Um,
each other.
the, the one thing I know, guys, about paranormal investigating is don't be afraid to go somewhere by yourselves.
Mm,
If it doesn't, the three main rules are if it doesn't say trespassing, stay off. Anything that tell you to stay off the property, if it doesn't say that, feel free to go.
that's what we want to
Any,
do.
You know,
anything, anything that's urban that like urban, all abandoned house, nobody claims. Feel free, dude, because it's
That's
there.
something I want to do. That excites me. Is going to like abandoned buildings and
Yeah.
houses that have history. I'm like, I love that because it is history. A lot of a majority of the land here in San Antonio, it's got a story behind it, regardless of what area you go to. And I've taken Miguel most of the parts of San Antonio that I know of that
Hmm.
were really haunted as a kid. I would hear stories, or I would, my father would tell me stories about like the courts in this area, like the Mirasole courts. He would tell me stories about that all the time, and it interested me. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like I wasn't scared, and I never was scared of that when I was a kid. I seen so many things that I was just like, okay, this is normal.
Wow.
I'm
Now,
more afraid of the living than I am of the dead.
yeah, you know what? A lot of paranormal investigators feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've been in cemeteries by myself in the dead of night,
Hmm.
and I've actually felt at peace. I felt comfortable there comparing to me driving down 35 when I'm
Yes.
all paranoid and all that stuff.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
so
That's so true.
yeah, I mean it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen things that I can't explain. I've done things I can't explain. I'm not even going to try to explain half the things I've done to get my investigation done. I mean, I've done some things that I'm not too happy about. I mean, I've probably broken some rules and regulations, but you
Yeah.
know what? I got to do whatever I got to do to get that video or to get that evidence. I'm not
Yes.
saying that I haven't crossed no lines because trust me, I've crossed a couple of no trespassing before.
Yeah, well, we did do. As a matter of fact, Alicia was talking about if we've ever been to the Hebner Onion
that was
House.
one of my first
That was
ones,
the first
Uh-huh.
one we actually went to.
and we were more. So we didn't go. Obviously, we didn't go into the building. We were at the property though, and because there were some lights that were turning on inside the building, and but by the end of the night, we were more fascinated. Well, I was more fascinated with the ground, because when I was pointing my camera at the ground, I started seeing all these flashing lights, and I couldn't see it with my naked eye. So I pretty much used my wife as a guinea pig to put her hand down on the floor where I saw the lights at. And after 2 minutes, figured out that we were just covered in spiders
What?
everywhere. And that I was looking at
Spiders
the.
everywhere. And he's like, put your hand there. I see the light. I see the light. And I'm over here like, okay. So I'm rubbing the ground where he's telling me to put my hand. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I think it's a spider. I'm like, oh my
So then, like,
Wow.
yeah. So then I panned out, and then I noticed that it was all around us, all over the floor, all over the grass,
all over the trees, the
and
ground, everywhere you're walking in that
and
area, there's full of spiders.
so we went there because we had somewhere to park, and even though there was cars coming in and out because right on Bandera, um, we didn't feel like anybody was gonna stop us or but they did have a sign saying you can't come in, it's private property. So we try to record pretty much from the areas that we were at, and we uploaded all those pictures and videos as well, because we were getting orbs and
we would hear like thumping sounds, like if somebody was walking in the, because it's all wood in the flooring before they redid it. It was the house has nothing but wood flooring, and you could hear it creaking like somebody's walking in there. And I was like, well, maybe it's somebody who's taking care of the building right now, like a security guard or something. But there was no lights on. But when we got there, there was a light on. But then when we get, so once we stepped foot onto that property, the lights were off. We could hear walking, and we heard like thumping, like something banging on the wall. And I'm like, oh my God, like I hope like there's nobody in there. Like I hope we don't get caught, but there was nobody in there at all.
So basically my one of our goals that I kind of wanted to do is when we do the investigation, we're assuming more than likely there's going to be a spirit of somebody who's lived there. So what we're trying to do is kind of get a confirmation of who the person is. So we like to go on the computer and do research to see if we can put a name to the person. Because we do ask, like, can you tell us your name? And sometimes we do get names. And we just want to, we would like to like confirm that the name that they're telling us is somebody who either lived in that property or who worked there, so that we have, because sometimes they do have a message. They say a lot of spirits, the only reason they're lingering around is because they have unfinished business. Yeah. And I figured if we can, let's finish that business for them, there you go. Figure out what it is that they want, who they want to talk to. Maybe their kid is it's a grown person now and they want to, leave a message. Maybe they know where the gold is buried and they want to let me know where it is. I want to find it. Yeah. Hey, something.
He's got money on his mind. I got ghosts.
I tell you what, or better yet, hey, give them that last shot of whiskey they wanted.
Right?
You never know. Because you never know what these people are hanging around for. It can be something really simple that, they can be like, hey, man, I just want that last shot of whiskey, to go on my way.
Yeah.
But
if we can get that answer, we were like, if we could do it, if I could do something with you, let me do it. And I can feel good and say, hey, that person is no longer here, but they're in heaven now. They did the last thing that they had to do because of us. We made it happen. But I could say this person's name is David, or like I can even look it up. So one of the investigations that we were doing was leading me to an airman, a person who was in the Air Force. And it was just kind of process of elimination, answering questions. And then I will go online and I'll say, well, what rank were you? Were you a lieutenant? Were you a captain? Were you just an airman? And then I will kind of start, putting all the answers together, go online and look up history of a person who lived in this property, who must have been this old, this age. Could we ask how old were you when you passed away? Stuff like that. Ethnicity, if they're white, Hispanic, And with those answers, we like to say, hey, here's a picture of the guy, because we don't have a video of him, but I'm getting words coming back to me. Now I have a face to put on the conversation, and then that'll actually help us better to figure out how to help them, because I can kind of see where they're going with their storyline, with it. So we do, like this house that we live in, we've been here for a couple of years now. And we still get creepy shit happening in our house. Sorry. We get creepy. Sorry, we get creepy situations in this house, but we don't. I'm used to it by now because I've been living here, But for her, it's like she'll hear stuff, and a lot of times things happen to her when I'm not there. It's literally as soon as I walk away, she starts hearing somebody having a conversation with her or whispering in her ear. And then I'll be outside working in the yard and she'll start calling me, hey, there's somebody's whispering in my ear. It's creepy. And then I come back and she's like, it went away. And this happened many times. And not just in this house, but houses that we lived in before. It would be the same scenario. I walk away, noises start coming in, things start getting moved or tossed or knocked down, and stuff like that. And we're trying to get it on video so people don't think we're crazy. But
now, you said other houses now, or are you guys have something following you?
Yes,
Are
Yeah.
you attached
I
to
believe.
something? Something
I
attached
I
to you?
believe. I believe something's been following me since I was little. Mainly because of what my father had told me, like that I had always experienced. Like as a matter of fact, the day that my grandmother had passed away, I was only like I believe 2 years old, and he said he heard me having a full on conversation with her,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "But you were still a baby. You talked gibberish, but when you told me who you were talking to, it came out clear. You said, 'I'm talking to Grandma Lila, and she's got her legs. She wanted me to tell you she's okay.'" Like that. And I was like, wow, like that's so cool. Like what else, And then I started thinking about it, and then all of a sudden I remember my dad was up late one morning, and this is where I used to live on the west side of San Antonio by General McMullen, Culebra area. Thomas Jefferson High School is where I went. But
Mm-hmm.
when I was about 10, my dad he was up like at 2 in the morning, and he was standing by the window, and he was waiting for my brother to get home. And I remember I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up because I heard him talking to my mother. So I woke up a little bit, and I'm looking, and I see this white shadow of a woman, just all dressed white, floating, passing my dad. And I just remember screaming to her, like, "Don't take my dad. He's not ready. He's not ready." And I scared my dad because my dad's eyes just got real big. And he's like, "Who are you talking to?" And I said, "There was a lady right next to you. She was
Uh-huh.
about to take you. Like, she was going towards you, towards the window." And when I said that, the ghost like looked at me, and she continued on. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then another time, something happened to my brother. As a matter of fact, he was upset because my mom did not want him to go out that evening, and he was like insisting that he, should go and this and that. And she's like, "No, you're gonna stay home." So we ended up leaving to my uncle and aunt's house about a block away, and or like a few blocks away. But anyway, he woke up. He called my mom crying in the middle of the evening, saying to please come home because he saw a pair of red eyes following him as
Oh
he was
wow.
on the couch. Yeah, he said he woke up to like heavy breathing, like almost like a dog breathing on him, and that when he looked up, he just saw these red eyes following him, and
That's
he,
crazy.
yeah, he ran
Oh,
out of the house so quick. He never argued. I bet, look, let me just tell you, he never argued with my mom like that again.
oh damn. Now, hey, now, do you guys have CCTV in your house?
We
Oh, you
have
mean
some
we
cameras.
have
Yeah.
cameras? It's the weird thing is, I install cameras for a living. But we don't have cameras in this
We
house
have
yet.
one. No, we have
Yeah,
one.
we
We
have
have
one in the
one.
closet.
We have one in the closet, and the reason for that is because that's where most of our paranormal experiences come out from the closet.
From the closet.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what used to be there. I tried to find out. I know it's an add-on, but what happened is we had redesigned our closet, and all of a sudden
Everything.
I told Miguel, I said, "Look, we're redesigning the closet, and it's been quiet for a while, like we haven't heard anything happening." I was like, "But I guarantee once we start repairing the house little by little, it's going to start activating the spirits." Sure enough, I had put these 6 mirrors. They were the stick-on mirrors, and I put them on the wall, made it look nice, and all of a sudden one by one would come off the wall, and they wouldn't end up where they were supposed to land. They would end up across the hall, like across the other side of the closet, far from the wall that it was at. So they were like tossed a good, what, 6 feet?
Now,
About this
these
is
About a
th-
good 6 feet.
these mirrors that you have, were they facing each other or were they
No,
no,
mirror,
we
mirror,
did
mirror, mirror?
it was like mirror,
yeah
mirror, mirror,
on the
mirror,
same
mirror,
wall.
like on the same wall, but it was a
Okay.
design that I got
Yeah,
from TikTok.
yeah.
So I was like, I like the design,
But we got that. We got to ask that question too because
because of
we
the
do.
portals.
We do have in our restroom. We have like a whole wall covered with mirrors that came with the house.
From when the owner
And
designed it.
so when we had a sidekick here a couple weeks ago, and he said that he's like, if you look at it from the right angle, one of the mirrors actually would reflect of
To
the
the
other
other
mirror.
mirror.
And
Ah,
by that time, 4 of the 6 mirrors had already fallen. And one of I was awake this one night. We had a picture frame of us for Halloween that we took, and she had it hanging up. and I just heard something really loud just fall. So I got up to go check. This happened at 2:30 in the morning, and I go inside the closet, and it's the picture frame it was hung up on the back end of the wall, but it ended up where the beginning of the room is. So as soon as I open the door, I see the picture frame facing down, and I didn't want to hang it back up, so I put it on the thing. So when she wakes up in the morning, she's like, "Hey, why is our picture not hanging anymore?" And I told her, it's like I took a picture of when it fell, because I wanted her to see how far from the wall the picture came. It just doesn't
Okay.
make it didn't make any sense, the distance that it covered for something that would just, if it was to fall because we didn't install it properly, it would have just fallen straight down. But this thing
Right.
like came across the room to the other end. So
The mirrors too. The mirrors, they would end up in a weird angle, the way they would land, and you would think they would break because they were so thin, the mirrors, that I could easily break it myself trying to pull it off the wall. And I was like, if it's the sticky tape, then I get it, right? Or the command strips, right? So I'm over here trying
Hmm.
to pull it, and it ripped my wallpaper. So I was like, okay,
Oh
so it's
wow.
not that. So something's physically like forcing the mirrors off our wall.
that was the weird part, because by the third mirror, she kind of gave up on the idea of having the mirrors on the wall, because she did think that the stickiness, the adhesive, just wasn't doing its job. But then she goes to like rip it off the wall, and it wasn't coming off. So we just left it there, and all of a sudden it just falls again on its own. So we haven't put them up since.
That's
But
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not the only thing. Like I don't know if you remember, I discussed this with you. One time I was sitting down, we were having family game night. We were
Hmm.
enjoying it with the kids, and I was just laughing, minding my own business. We're talking about, things that they did when they were little. And all of a sudden I just got this burning sensation on my chest. And I just stayed real quiet. I kind of got scared. I said, oh my God, something's wrong. Like that shouldn't be happening, because it just started getting, like, the burning sensation started like real small and then just started getting worse. And I was like, okay, something's really wrong. So I get up, and my youngest daughter goes with me to the restroom, and I show her, and I'm freaking out because I see these 3 long gashes across my chest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like 3 scratches. And the psychic told me, which I already had a feeling there was a little girl in the house. So what we have is we have an elderly man who's about 74, 75, and he has like a misogynistic attitude towards women, from what they told me. And I get that feeling too, because when I've seen or hearing things, he doesn't seem nice. I get that feeling like he's kind of mean towards women. And there's a little girl that's with him. They're thinking it's his granddaughter. I don't know who she is, but the psychic was telling me that she gets mad because she doesn't have her mom. So when she sees me being loving towards my daughter, that's why it gets her mad, and that's why she scratched me. That she was the one that scratched me. So I was like, okay, whatever. I did a blessing. I set the blessing in the house, and I did the sage and all that. Then, not even like 3 months later, my daughter was just standing, and she was talking to my eldest, and she just got the same sensation where she had a long one gash on her back, like that long,
she started bleeding.
and she started bleeding more than what I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and she was just standing there with her back towards the hallway, because the closet and the hallway and the laundry are the most active points of the house.
For some reason,
Hmm.
it's the little rooms that really nobody goes into, that nobody really spends time in. Those are the ones that make the most noises, and weird stuff comes out of. When it came to the like the laundry room, we'll be sitting in the dining room, and we just see the door opening and closing by itself, and when it comes to the kids, I try to brush it off, even though I saw it too. And I was like, if it happens again, it was the breeze, or it was the AC system. Or, for them, I give them a logical explanation.
So they're not scared.
Right.
But at the end of the night, we're like, something's happening, and we got to figure out what it is and who it is.
Okay.
Figure out what it is that they want.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what got us into all of this. The passion that he has for it, and the curiosity on both our ends. But me, it's because I'm like, I might as well open up to it. It's been trying to get me to pay attention to it since I was little.
Right.
Something, maybe there is something that I can do to help the spirits, move on to the next world. Who knows, what they're here for.
Right. Okay, Alicia. Hey, Hey, appreciate it, dude.
Thank you.
Really, I appreciate you coming on.
All
Yeah,
right.
we'll do
Awesome.
we'll try to do a collab with her. That'd be great. Our thing is we're kind of basic on when it comes to the tools that we use. EMF readers, cameras, but what I see on TV, these guys have some gadgets that I gotta I guess get a hold of. They're using the Connect and they're using the heat sensor.
yeah.
I don't know if it's a necessity, if it'll help.
I believe that spirits, as long as you have any kind of electronics, they're gonna work through it. Whether it's your phone, they're gonna use it, the energy. And we've been using a lot is the flashlight. What we do is we put the flashlight there, and they communicate with us a lot with the flashlight
by flickering
it, turning it off and on yes, turning it off. I mean, turning it back on for no. Like we communicated with spirits real easily with that. And the other thing is there's some apps that you can download that work just as good. One of them is the what is it called?
Oh, Necrophonics.
That one works really good. And that one's free on Android. So that one works really well, though, with any kind of ghost hunting you might want to do. Or, you tap into that and you can hear what you need to hear.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Miguel, bro, I was just like you, man. When I first started this adventure of mine, I looked on, YouTube, and I looked on Ghost Adventures, and I saw all these nice looking gadgets that, they were having. And, but I go on eBay and I'll look at the prices.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, that's what we say.
Sticking to the basics.
We're like, we got 6 kids to feed.
Yeah, right? Oh, hell no. But you know what?
In our last house, we had we called a paranormal group to come do a ghost hunting because we were finding stuff. Like I said, we're with the basic equipment, what we already had on us. When this group comes in, this guy had a huge camcorder, that you put on your shoulder and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, and he's like, yeah, you got to have it with the built-in compass. And if the compass so I'm like, man, we're so behind. we got some catching up to do.
Miguel, actually, you're not behind, bro. Keep it basic. Keep it simple.
That's what it is.
That's what it doesn't make any sense, to try to get up there with the Joneses because, here's the thing. If I go out and buy a $1,200 camera and I'm looking over here and I got a $100 camera that does the same functions, but check it out, but it's not as heavy as that $1,200 camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna stick with that $100 camera, and and go have fun with that.
That's what I said. I said, look, you spent almost how much for my phone?
Yeah, our phones.
My Samsung 21. I was like, it can do just as good as another camera.
Yeah. And that alone costs a lot of money. So
yeah.
I was like, and it fits in my pocket. I was like, I just pull it out and boom, capped it.
And trust me, until they invent a camera that can live stream, I'm gonna continue using my camera, my phone.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. I don't see it no other way. I mean, believe it or not, guys, when I first started this, I had 8 cameras. I went out and bought 8. Why?
Spread them all out, record them all at once.
Everybody, here's a camera for you, a camera for you.
And you know what, guy? I only had 2 members on my team. Just me and somebody else. But I'm going out and spending hundreds of dollars on cameras I don't even use.
Yeah. Well, we had GoPros before when we did the paranormal investigation with Kiss, Nard from Kiss, when he used to work for them, and he really liked the GoPro, so we just gave it to him. We're like, just take it, Nard.
Yeah.
I really like this.
He had already done some extracurricular activities with the camera.
We're just like, you can keep it. Just keep it.
We're good.
Oh, wow.
already see what kind of videos you took with it. So
he's a wild guy, but he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Hey, have you guys been to the Emily Morgan Hotel?
Yes, we just stayed over there about.
Didn't we take the videos?
No, we didn't take videos from there. We took one from the Minger.
The Minger Hotel.
But we did stay at the Emily Morgan. We actually stayed in the room beside was it 1407 where the room that's missing.
So there's a room that was haunted that the hotel knew was haunted. So they shut down a room and split it between two other rooms. So now when you go look for that room number, it doesn't exist. It skips the number.
Yeah. Wow.
So there's like a whole history behind it.
We actually stayed on the floor where they had the psych ward, where it used to be the psych ward, where you get the scent of like medical, like alcohol or anything like that. Like you'll scent like medicine also. Right. Well, that's the floor we stayed on. We stayed in room 1406, which is next to the very haunted room of 1407 and 8. And we didn't get anything. So like being there, like I didn't get anything like that out of the norm.
The other hotel we went to,
the Minger, we got a lot.
The Minger, we got an actual audio clip that we uploaded. We think we deciphered what he said, but there's two voices, a man and a woman. I think the girl says that her name is Sarah, and then the guy says that guy has like a country accent, but he's like asking a question. But it was just so random because we didn't hear it with our ears. We only heard it after, we started replaying. We were trying to do this thing where we were like, you know what, let's leave the camera recording and walk away from the room. And then when we come back, we'll see if we captured anything. We tried that method. Then we also tried just sitting on the bed and recording and start asking questions.
We walked around too.
Yeah, we did the walking up and down the hallways.
Now that right there, I got scared because we were walking, and obviously there's tourists that are in there looking around in the Minger at night, from downtown. And we were walking around, and I had seen a staircase that just leads into a dead end where there's another room right there at the end of the hall. It's actually the King, I think it's the King something room. What is it called? King James, or I don't know. It's one of the most haunted ones at the Minger. It's like a very expensive suite, and only the King something ranch or something like that. I don't know.
Couldn't afford it.
Yeah, we just couldn't afford it. Couldn't afford it. We're like, we're never gonna see it, so why even learn the name?
Right.
But it was in that hallway, and I saw a female dash into that hallway, and I was like. So I go over there and I'm like, I was going to tell her like, oh, it's closed off. Right. So when I go like that, nobody's there. There's only one room there. So it's not like she could have jumped in there because that room wasn't being used. So I had seen that and I was like, oh my God, I just saw a female like run in there and there's nobody there. So I was like, okay. So like I said, when we left the phone in the room, we saw a shadow like walking in our closet. Like you could see a shadow, like if somebody was pacing inside the closet. Yes.
I don't know what their fascination in closets is, but
I don't know.
So like when I was when I started wondering about paranormal, my first incident, I was in my mom's, and my mom and my dad they were separated, but they live across the street from each other. So I go to my mom's. My mom house already has a history of being creepy. But this one night, my little brother and I were at home by ourselves. Everybody else was gone. And in Philly, we have basements. And one night, I go to the basement door. And when I open it, that is the very first time that I see something that people called the Shadow Man, which is a tall dude with a looks like he's wearing like a trench coat and a top hat. Okay, so when you open up a door to go to the basement, it is a very steep set of stairs that goes straight down. And when I open the door, I see this guy at the very top of the stairs. So basically, I open the door, he's right on the other side of the door, and he's so tall that he takes up the entire doorway. And so I'm looking up at him, me being vertically challenged. This was like 7 feet tall, and I'm just above 5 feet. So I'm looking at him, and I'm staring right at him, but I'm at this point where I'm kind of like paralyzed, so I can't move and I can't talk. But I'm staring right at him, and he's staring right back at me. And at that second, I thought I was done for. And in a split second, I didn't even get to blink yet. He just vanishes to the point that I can see right through him now. Because before I couldn't see nothing, but
Oh
now
wow.
I can see right through him. I got so scared, I shut the door and I left my mom's house and I went to my dad's. And as soon as I ran out of the house, my brother's like, "Yo, where you going?" And he saw this look on my face, so he was afraid to go back into the house because he knows there's something weird into the house. The only thing is that we don't have the same dad, so I was like, "I'm sorry, bro. You just gonna have to stay in mom's house. I'm gonna go to my dad's."
That's messed up, dude.
When he told me that, I said the same thing. I said, "That's your brother."
Yeah, you threw him
He's
to the
like, "I
wolves.
feel the cops. You stay behind."
It was,
Oh, that is crazy.
there in that house. So I will come. My mom will call my dad, and she'll be like, "Oh, my son doesn't come visit me. He lives right across the street. How come he don't come visit me?" You know, and I don't want to tell my dad all about the ghost stories because I do like going to my mom's once in a while. And same brother, we spent the night in the basement. Somebody got the genius idea to build a bedroom inside the basement, and that became our room. So every time I came to sleep over, I would have one of those beds that you fold in half and then you put away. So I had one of those, and I would sleep on there. And middle of the night, I could have sworn my brother was right in front of my face. The lights were off, but I could feel somebody breathing in front of my face. And my brother and I, we used to play around a lot, do WWF. That's what it was called back in the day. So
Right.
we will wrestle a lot. So I told my brother, like, "Hey man, you better back up, or I'm about to start swinging." And I hear my brother say, "What?" And when my brother responds, he sounds so far away from me. So I freak out. I turn on the light, and my brother's rolled up on the other bed. He's rolled up in like 3 blankets. And I was like, "Bro, I just saw somebody right in front of my face, and I thought it was you." And I was about to swing. And so that night, while we were having a conversation, I can hear somebody walking right outside of our room, and I get scared. And we turn on the. Let's just say our decisions weren't the brightest, but because we heard the noise, we came up with a plan of attack, right? And we were like, I was like, "You know what? Let's grab the heaviest weapon that we can find. You grab something and I grab something, and then we're gonna bust this door open, and whatever we see, we're gonna kill it." That was our plan. So my brother grabs a giant mug, and I grab a trophy that was sitting on a stand, and we're
Oh
counting.
shit.
We're like, "You know what? 1, 2, 3. Let's bust this door open." And and we come out screaming. We're like, "Ah!" And there's nothing there.
Oh
The
shit.
noise stops.
Yeah, we're beating up air.
Yeah, there's nothing there for me to attack. So we shut the door, and we were more scared that there was nothing for us to attack. That we're afraid that whatever it is, it can attack us, but we can't attack them back. So that night we turned on the radio, and we started listening to Christian music. We were looking for like a church station, so that we can stay alive for the night. And that was the last night. That was the last time I stayed at my mom's.
Oh,
That's where my paranormal life started kind of heading, and I started believing in spirits and all that and ghosts because I felt too many things, and it was just too weird for me. So yeah, creepy story. I think soon after that, something happened with my mom in that same house, and she decided to move out. She's like, "I'm not doing this no more." And I found out years later that my mom already knew it was haunted. She just didn't want to tell us.
oh wow.
She didn't want to tell us. She thought the house was haunted because she didn't want to scare us.
Oh, kind of like what we do with our kids.
Kind of what we do with the kids. Yeah.
But our kids are getting older. They already learned. They learned their lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do your mom and dad think about the things that you guys do? How they feel about that?
I don't talk to my mom about it. I never talk to my dad about it. Because I never even see my dad go to church or anything like that. But my mom, I kind of left her out of those ideas as well. Mainly because um, when my mom, I would say, picks her religion, she kind of sticks to it, and
They don't want to hear about
and
it.
then they don't want to hear what they would consider double talk, or stuff like
Right.
that. And so we kind of and it's weird because then there's other people who are more into their religion, but since they're not related to me, I let them have my opinion either way. And that's just and then I get people like nudging me like, hey, don't talk about that with this person. They don't like talking about that. They don't believe in that. It's like, yeah,
Right.
but I'm just saying out of curiosity, don't you think hasn't anything creepy ever happened to you? Not in my house. My house never haunted.
Oh shit.
Well, my parents are the opposite. Well, my dad is he's a big time believer. He loves to hear about it. He loves to talk about his stories. Like I say, he's the reason why we started this group is because of him. He's like,
Mhm.
you should name it Cucu Paranormal, and he's like one of our biggest fans. My mother, on the other hand, she's more like, I don't want to hear it because I don't want to get scared. So my mom doesn't want to hear, but she knows it exists. She believes in spirit. She does. She just don't want to hear it. She doesn't want to believe
Right.
that anything like that would happen in her home because it has happened in her home. Like that whole whispering in my ear, it happened at her house. One day we had to move in because we were hitting a rough patch, so we moved in with my mom for a little bit to get back on her feet. And we were staying in the room that was converted into a bedroom. It used to be part of the garage and it got converted. And Miguel heard something in the backyard. Our dog was barking and barking. So I said, go check, and I was in the room by myself waiting for him. And it was just us two. The kids had went out with my mom and my dad. And all of a sudden I hear a man's voice in my ear say, hey, babe, like that. And I said, I ain't your babe. I was like, babe. I started screaming, babe, Miguel.
I could
I was
hear
like,
her.
come inside.
I could hear it. She kind of starts with the babe, babe. I'm like, oh,
I
crap.
do that.
Something's
When I
happening.
get scared, I start off real low, like, babe,
Yeah.
babe, babe.
I'm like, didn't you just tell me to go outside? Now you want me to come back in?
It was right in my ear though. Like I could feel like his breath on my ear. That's how close it was.
I think that happened to her twice. Where as soon as I walk away, she starts hearing somebody whispering, and they either sound like me or they walk like me because I wear steel toe boots. So
yeah, in this house I hear him.
So people think I'm in the house when I'm not even at home yet.
There was one day I just got off of lunch and I heard him what sounded like Miguel and my daughter coming in from work, and he walks heavy like you said with his boots. And I was like, oh, dad's home, right? I tell my daughter, dad's home. So I go up there. He ain't there. Nobody's home. And my daughter heard it too, though. My youngest, she was like, I did hear dad walking. Like she heard the heavy stomping. I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, I just heard something. It was just me, right? So then my computer desk, since I work from home, my computer desk used to be in the kitchen and the dining room area. And I'm sitting there and I could see the reflection of the computer when my screen's off of my daughter walk behind me. And it looked like my daughter. And she had the short hair like my daughter and everything. So I was like, it's either her or my daughter-in-law. And I turn around, nobody's there. I was by myself in the house this time. Everybody had gone. Everybody left to go do their own thing. I was here training at work, and I see that shadow just walk behind. Now, that shadow that I'm talking about, that's the little girl that lives in this house, apparently. She's the 10-year-old little girl because she looks just like my daughter, like my youngest. From what I've seen, from what everybody's described, she looks just like the youngest. She's got the hair like her. She's skinny like her. She's short like her. Like everything looks like her. She even sounds like her at times. Like she'll mimic my daughter's voice. Because one time we were here laying down and I kept saying, Jocelyn, get ready for bed. You have to go to school. And I could hear her humming like a little girl singing. And it sounded just like her. And I was like, Jocelyn, go to bed. And as my voice got louder, my oldest comes and she goes, who are you yelling at? Who are you talking to? And I was like, are you talking to me? I was like, no. I said, I'm telling your sister to go to bed. She goes, Mom, she's been in bed already for like 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Well, who's in the kitchen? And she's like, nobody's in the kitchen. I just got here right now and I hear you yelling, go to bed. And she's like, I'm trying to get water. She's like, so I didn't know if you were getting mad at me or No, I was getting to your sister, but I'll take it back. I'm sorry. And he's had the same thing where he thinks he's talking to our daughters and there's nobody there.
Yeah, I had a full conversation by myself.
Well, I heard it, but I heard it though.
I was in the kitchen making myself a snack, and usually my older daughter, she has a habit where she knows I'm in the kitchen, and she's, oh, Dad's cooking something up, so let me go see.
Or she'll sneak up on you.
She's like, usually what she does is whatever I'm making, she's gonna want some, you know. And I got kind of accustomed to that routine, so I'm making myself a sandwich, and I hear somebody walk to the kitchen, and they're just staring at me. I can feel the presence, you know. So as I'm making the sandwich, I'm like, "You want one?" And I could have sworn I heard them say yes. You know, so I'm like, "All right, well, let me get some extra bread, put it on the toaster." You know, I'm making the sandwich. I turn around, there's nobody there, and so I go back in the room with 2 sandwiches now, and she's like, Who are you talking to? And I was like, I thought I was talking to Sophie, but there's nobody there.
But it's funny though, because when he said that, I heard Sophie's voice, my daughter's voice. I heard them having their conversation. And I even said it when he came, I said, who are you talking to? And he was like, no, I thought it was Sophie. I was like, well, I heard y'all talking. Like, are you sure? And I thought he was playing with me. I was like, don't lie to me. Like, for real, when you talking to Sophie, right? He's like, no, I really thought someone was there and I thought it was Sophie, but nobody ever responded. But it's funny because I heard her responding to him and I heard that spirit talking to him like if it was her.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Full on conversation, like it was answering back and everything. But to me, I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I heard their voices, like the sound, like the voice of a man talking with a kid. You know, I could hear that. I could distinguish that. So that's why I could hear them talking. And it wasn't that anybody.
I think that's the weirdest part right now, because this is kind of new to me. When usually, you know, a ghost or something, they're kind of their own person. But this is new to me when a ghost starts to sound like or look like somebody that already lives in the house. And to me, that's the weirder part, you know. So I don't know if there's a name for that, but the incident with the youngest kid, you know, there was a time where I could have sworn I saw her down the hallway, you know, and I only get up because the dogs, my dogs are like alarm clocks, and if they see something, they hear something, they start barking, and I usually go check it out, and it looks like one of my kids, but it's not. I go in the room, they're asleep, and I'm like, I just saw you here, so how you know, 2 places at the same time, it doesn't add up, you know, and either I don't know if it's a look-alike or if it's
look-alike.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, man. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's so weird that you're like, you know what? Let's just go to bed and start over tomorrow because you have no explanation for it.
Right.
But it's annoying because, you know, we try to do ghost hunting in our house and we don't ever catch anything. But when we're not ghost hunting, everything just unravels. It's like, oh, well, now you want to show yourself. Now you want to do this when I don't have a camera.
I put a camera in the closet, and for that reason, for the ghost hunting. And one night I stayed up all night recording, you know, and then I don't catch anything. Nothing happens. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me give the camera a break. Let me go to bed. That same day, as soon as the camera turns off, all of a sudden the mirrors start falling. You know, stuff is moving. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me put the camera back up, and I start recording. Yeah. Then I record and nothing happens. Like no incident. You know, only when we're not recording. And then we're like, you know what? I think it knows that that's the camera. It's like it only wants to do stuff when the camera is offline. You know.
Wow.
I left the camera up there. I unplugged it, but I left it up there, and I haven't heard anything since. So
the last mirror just fell.
That last mirror did just fell. That took a while. I think the ghost gave up.
The very last mirror that I for a fact, I thought that mirror was gonna stay up because it was like fused. Like I tried tugging, I could hear like the cracking of the glass already. I was like, if I keep pulling, it's gonna break. And I was like, this thing is on there, so it's not gonna fall. And it held. It's the last mirror standing. It's been on there for like already a month. It hasn't slid down, nothing. It's the adhesive is great on it. Well, the other day I hear bang, you know, like click, 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 and I was like, what is that? And I get up. And it was a mirror, but it didn't break. And the sticky part, the adhesive is like super glue. It was sticking to my fingers real tight. Like it was, I don't understand how it fell. I mean, I kind of do, but I'm just like, What can I say? No more mirrors up there.
So we
Those
got
darn, hey, those darn mirrors. Hey guys, I'm gonna ask you guys, man, like 10 questions.
yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Uh, if you guys, if you guys had a, because I know me personally, you guys are having issues getting, team members. What would be a great number for you guys if you guys were to take on a new team member? What age would you guys would want them to be?
Age.
Age group? We don't
Mm-hmm.
care. We don't
Yeah.
discriminate on age.
It's weird because they say that younger kids are more susceptible to seeing things. I when I was a teenager, I could see things clear as day. I didn't need no camera or no. So, but I think at this point, because we do travel and all that stuff, and 18 and up, it's fine with me.
As long as they're 18 and up,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't discriminate
No,
because
I don't have to ask their parents for permission. I should do that.
yeah, we don't do family trips like that.
Well, guys, you know what? For the simple fact that these kids today, they're looking for that thrill to say, "Hey, I did this," and bam! Next thing you know, they don't want to be bothered with you because that's something that they did.
Right.
I've always, me myself, anybody that's 40 and up,
they're more serious.
they're a little bit more serious,
Mm-hmm.
and I would take them in consideration of joining the team. Anybody that young or younger, you really would have to think about it because
Yeah,
you
we've
know
experienced that with our own kids, so
eh,
I mean, I say I don't discriminate only because there could be a rare occasion where you might get a medium who's, a teenager or whatever, but you're right. Their mindset is a little different as far as taking things more serious. Like what we're trying to do is run a serious, investigation, and a lot of times we did that one time where this group of kids wanted to follow us, and through the whole time they were just laughing and
Yeah.
and
It killed the vibe.
it killed the vibe. So
Yeah,
we're just
definitely.
like, guys, you're not gonna get nothing like this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
so back to you were saying about the 40 and up. So
That'll be fine.
we do have some situations where we're outside in the woods. Like one time
Just as long as they're careful.
yeah. So if you can walk,
We're fine.
we're like, hey, we have to get up there, and you're down for it, then man, we're good.
2 weeks their own.
right. I'm a you know what, dude? I am trying to do things right. You know, every now and then I might screw up. But that's just me being a human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like I say, I've done things, and I'm not gonna even try to explain to people. But you know what? I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Where do you guys would like to go to make your paranormal team more successful? What would you like to do?
I would like to go. So one place I really wanted to check out, and I'm not going to be able to anymore, was the insane asylum. Um, I'm not native to San Antonio, so I kind of had to look this stuff up online. But I drove there to hoping to go straight into an investigation. Then I found out that they took it down and they rebuilt some stuff over it, and then they put a fence around it. So like they kind of crushed those dreams. But anywhere that has a history of basically multiple lives have been lost, it'll give us a better chance of finding something.
Mhm.
We did go to a cemetery once, but I didn't catch anything from that cemetery. But if there is a cemetery that has history, I would like to go there too. But right now we're kind of going based off stuff that we can look up online instead of what people can tell us to go check out.
Right.
One of our last places we went to, we literally just went there because of an urban legend of a woman who got hung, in front of everybody, and they're saying that her spirit was still out there, and that she screams at night and all this other stuff. So we went to go check it out, but we got kind of creeped out because there was this lady walking around the neighborhood every 2 minutes. And I don't know how she was doing that lap time, but she was doing it quick.
She's running. She's just like.
Was she moving?
She's doing that power walk.
And we got creeped out. I was like, this I don't want this to be a Karen that's gonna call the cops on us. And that's always when it kind of comes down to. So if it's a place that we know we have permission to, if you can do an overnight, that to me that'd be great.
We've been wanting to do that.
Do an overnight,
like an overnight.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The Swan, I think it's a Victorian Swan or something like that. It's a bed and breakfast where they do allow to do like ghost hunting, but those are like expensive.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like to do something like that, but it's not gonna cost me an arm and a leg,
If you guys had a budget, let's say, how much are you guys willing to spend for a overnight investigation?
If the place has a reputation, I wouldn't mind going $300
more, baby. About 500. About 500 would be like our limit for right now until we get the more funding. But I think a 500 limit would be great. A budget.
Okay, cool. Hey, I just sent you guys some pictures.
All right, let me see. Let me open it. Is it raining? Sure is.
Well, did you send it to my email?
I think he sent it to yours because you have.
Yeah, I think I sent it to yours, Miguel.
All right, 1 second here.
So, as far as like getting our group together and getting us out there, my main thing when I started this group was to I just want to get people to acknowledge that there is another world after life, that we all eventually have to face. Right. And that they shouldn't be afraid to communicate if they have something like that going on. Now, when it's a malicious spirit, like it's violent, then yes, I would say seek someone like, a priest or someone that's spiritual that can help you out in that situation. But if it's someone that's like knocking mirrors down, like over here,
right.
I just want people to acknowledge that it's okay and it's a world that we're living to share together. We have to share it with the spirit world. If they were here, they're not here, unfortunately, but they're here still because they miss their house or they love their house so much that they didn't ever want to leave it, or their family, something happened and they just feel comfortable being here sometimes, and I try to tell my kids all the time, I said, look, I know it's a scary thing, but it's not like what you see on the movies.
Exactly, right.
These hauntings that you experience, these are not what you experience in the movies or on the shows where they're like, oh, did you see that? Or, oh, this is happening. No, it's not like that. It's more natural when it happens.
Yeah. We don't like, one thing that we don't like when we do watch other people's videos is how they put that creepy ass music in the background. and it kills.
The suspense music and then nothing happens.
And they're like, oh, we're listening for this and this and that. I'm like, well, how are we supposed to listen to it if you're playing background music? I'm gonna listen to it too.
I know. They're like, if you turn your phone all the way up, you can hear somebody say hello. I'm like, what's with the hearing music you have?
Yeah, that's I don't understand that. That's crazy. But you know what? I really I blame Hollywood for that.
Yeah.
Because I think Hollywood has a lot to do with all that crazy stuff that. Because once people understand that paranormal investigating is not like Hollywood, it's totally different.
It is. It really is.
I mean, like one day you might be successful, your next investigation, nothing.
Yeah.
Then here you go, getting frustrated because you're thinking that you're going to, every time you investigate, that you should catch something. No, that's not the case.
So we had where did we go? The aqueducts.
Yeah.
So we went into the aqueducts a few times, but our first time it was probably the creepiest. We couldn't catch anything on video, but we were in this random grassy area, and I can hear a man screaming, like he was tied up or something. He was screaming like he needed help, right? But he sounded like he was underground. and all I kept hearing was hell, get me out of here. And I was like, and then but it's just pitch black because we decided to do this stuff at nighttime. Because we thought ghosts would come out more at night than during the daytime, and there's just less people. But
Right.
we kept hearing this creepy sound, and it sounded like a guy just asking for help, and
coming from the tunnel.
Yeah, coming from the tunnel, and it just we're like I don't I'm looking with my camera, I'm turning my flash on, I don't see nothing, and I don't know which direction to walk into to get closer.
You did kind of walk in,
yeah,
and you noticed a wall that there was a dead end.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't have anywhere to end up at, and so when we went back the second time, we're like, let's go a little bit earlier so we can see better. So one of the things that we have is where I want to go somewhere because it looks creepy, and I'm like, we go in there, we're probably gonna find something, but it's creepy to the point that she doesn't want to go in there. And
it's just, if I get like a bad feeling about something, and he knows this, I'm usually right. I'm usually right when I tell him my intuition is kicking in, and I'm saying it's not a good idea. Because I feel like something's gonna happen.
We found that tunnel where we thought the echoes were coming from. I was like, okay, there you go. We found the tunnel. We're ghost hunters. Let's go hunt some ghosts.
Right,
and
let's go investigate.
Yeah, so I pointed at the tunnel. She's like, we ain't going in there. I was like, what do you mean? We're ghost hunters. We're the sources.
Right.
Like,
hey,
for one, that thing has been a part of so many crimes and all kinds of stuff that's gone in there. So many people have gone in there just to rob other people that are walking through the park. And so I was thinking all those things. I was like, look, if the ghost wants to come out, they can meet me outside of the tunnel. I ain't going in that tunnel. I was like, I'm not about to fall and break my leg.
That is crazy. Hey, how does your community kind of react to you guys, and what kind of response do you guys get from them?
We get positive response actually. Everybody's very supportive of what we do, from family, friends, strangers. They're actually pretty fascinated with what we tell them. Like, they'll ask us about stories and we'll tell them, and they're just like, wow. But what makes them even more interested is the pictures that we provide. If we don't have pictures,
they don't want to hear
it. And they'll hear it, but they'll be like, yeah, right. Well, I got to see it to believe it. So when we do our ghost hunting, sometimes we'll stream live, or I'll just post it right away. Like, I'll be like, here, and I'll post it on my Facebook where my family and friends can see first, to see if they notice anything, and then right after I'll post it on the Cucu Paranormal page as well. So I'm like, well, let's see what both sides say. And it's always, like, wow, I want to go with you. Or, I have a lot of people who say they want to go, but then when it comes down to it, they get scared and they're like, oh, no, it's okay, because I don't want to come back home with me. And I'm like, nothing will come back home with you, I promise. I was like, just try it, I like to see skeptics become believers,
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love a skeptic, because I love to prove them wrong every time.
Yeah, because my son used to be like that. My son, he would be like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. And then he had his few experiences himself, and he's like, I believe. He's like, I'll never doubt you again.
Now, how do you guys get your name out to the public besides social media?
Well, see, we didn't go with the intention originally to be popular or nothing. We wanted a place to put up all of our documents, because she has her phone, I have my phone, and we want to upload all of our stuff somewhere. And we decided, well, why not try the whole Facebook page, and then we'll put all of our pictures and videos and just tell people when we took it. So we haven't actually pushed for that to get known.
It's been doing it on its own pretty much.
Yeah, it's been doing it on its own.
Every day I get notified that our we've gotten more followers in daily. We're getting more and more. We went from being like 20 followers for like months. And after I posted that video of the Minger, we ended up going, now we're up to like 500 or more. But I was like, that's no
we weren't pushing.
We weren't campaigning it, nothing like that. It was just going on its own.
It was just organically getting popular.
So then after that, word by mouth, people would say, hey, I have a family member who is into ghost hunting, call her. And then I'll get a phone call, and that's how we kind of get our name out there.
Okay, cool. Now, are you guys in a? What exactly are you guys' main attraction? What I mean, what exactly you guys are attracted to as far as investigating?
To
Because
me is
The history.
a story. Because like I said, I personally I like to put the pieces together. Some people are they're perfectly fine with saying I caught a ghost and going home and going to the next location. I like to say, hey,
What's the history?
this person was a little girl, and she was sick and she died here. I like to put those pieces together,
right,
and that's kind of like what I like to do. Otherwise, you just have anomalies. You got
right,
weird squiggly lines, you got orbs. We catch a lot of orbs. Orbs don't give you a story; it's just an orb. But we kind of use that somewhere to start with. We don't
okay,
like to dismiss it, but there's time where she had like a little tornado in her hand of orbs just circling around her hand just because she had her hand out. And she kept saying, there's a ghost here, touch my hand. And all of a sudden, all these orbs just start, you know, weirdly just going around her hand, So at every other time, would have been like, oh, that's just dust, But when you see like a formality like that, it's weird.
You learn to tell the difference between a bug, a dust bunny, and then what an orb is after a while,
right. I kind of don't. Orbs, I really don't deal with them. If I see them, I kind of just brush them to the
Right,
side, like you said, because you don't know what they are.
right.
Now, I'll send you guys some pictures.
Yeah,
Yes, we saw them. I was just about to ask you where was this location for the first picture?
it says here,
Uh, the first one.
Okay, the one that has like the wooden doors.
Now, that is a place where I think you guys should go check out.
see if I could
Okay.
get myself in a building that's big like that, where I have a lot
Yes,
of real estate to investigate.
Oh,
that
we
is
can
a
definitely do
That's
that.
what
yes.
we like to do. It's just for us. For example, the when we investigate outside, our issue is the outside noise, cars, driving by, all that stuff. If I can get myself in a building, then we can investigate a section of it one day, and then do another section the other day. Um,
Now, yeah.
that because it's a lot of real estate
That's
to
our
cover.
goal, though. That's our goal is to do abandoned homes, abandoned
Abandoned buildings,
buildings.
yes.
Now, that's a place. How far are you guys from Seguin, Texas?
Oh,
Not too far.
Seguin, I think we're about an hour and a half,
Let me look at
Okay,
maybe
it.
hour
less.
and a half. So you're looking
Maybe
at
less.
okay, you guys. That place is actually in Seguin, and I think
No, we're 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys should check that place out, dude. I'm telling you, it's very active, and actually, that is that home right there is has so much history because we invested that place 2 weeks ago. No, no, just last week.
Oh,
So
So
really?
if you go onto my Facebook page and check out the video,
You just
you will
go in
see
there?
how active it is.
you
Huh?
just do you just go in there, or does somebody give you the keys to
No,
enter?
somebody actually we were like a special guest on that because they wanted us because they came on the podcast,
Yeah,
but
Okay.
I think they charged like $200, 250 for the whole night.
I
Wow,
could do
that's not
that
bad. We could do that.
because we
And
like
I'm
to.
not even charging and for 8 hours. I think it's less than that.
Okay.
But the team that actually runs that place is out of San Antonio, and
Ah,
they're called Afterlife Paranormal.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Now,
think I've heard of them.
if you want, I will give you their number at the end of the show.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
we would love that. Anything that can help us out, we would be grateful because, like I said, we're trying to get out there more, and it's just so hard. Just with Miguel and I, we're kind of new at it, but we're trying. So
Yeah, I
anything
understand
helps.
that because it was hard for me when I first started. But
Yeah,
yeah, so what do you guys think about those pictures?
I think I saw a few faces and a couple of them right away immediately. The one with the door, I see a shadow like a person. It looks like they have like a white hood on the first one that you sent us. And then on the second one, I see the squiggly, like it looks like a squiggly line.
See, I've seen this before.
We had those on our pictures before.
So the one with the looks like a squiggly line.
It looks like a worm almost.
I've seen it for ourselves, our own investigation, and I've also seen it from other people's investigations. But it's normally we catch that stuff outside.
This one's a full body peeking out from the branch.
Yeah, I see that.
The one where it shows like the wooded area, I see a full apparition on this one. Like it looks like somebody's kind of peeking out from the back of the tree. You see that? Like they're looking over it.
Yeah. No, you know what? The one I found creepy, and it's weird because we find kind of these.
The ones with the face in the tree?
Yeah, it's when you find faces where faces don't belong, you know, and I see
those distinctly. Like these two are very distinct.
So the one you have where it's it looks like the cemetery, but it's pretty much focused on the tree. We have pictures like this in our Facebook.
I'll try to send you some right now.
Yeah, we're looking at we're pretty much looking out of a sliding door that we have, and the reason we took pictures of the sliding door in ours was because I used to get locked out of my house. I would go outside to feed the dogs, and the door would get shut and locked. And the first time it happened, I thought the kids were playing a prank on me. And it's Texas, so it's like 100 degrees outside. I go feed the dogs, and I go try to get back inside. The door's locked, so I tried knocking, and I was like, "Hey, somebody open the door," you know. And I'm getting frustrated because the gate's locked, the door's locked, and comes to find out there's nobody at the house. My wife had to come from next door and open the door for me. And I was like, "Hey," I come in mad. I was like, "Who the hell locked me outside?" You know, I was getting aggravated. She's like, "There's nobody here." I was like, "Well, how did the door get locked?" Right? So we made an incident out of that. We tried leaving it alone, and then a couple weeks later, it happened again where I go outside, and the second time I told myself, "Don't close the door all the way in case of a mechanical issue. Leave it open a little bit." You know, I left it open. I go feed the dog, and when I come back to the door's shut and locked again. I'm locked out, and I was like, "No, somebody got to be playing with me." So then I started calling, and I started calling because I'm knocking, nobody's opening the door, and I'm calling her. I was like, "Who locked me out?" And she's like, "Nobody's at the house, nobody's home, all the kids are at school, like it's just you." You know, I was like, "Well, I'm locked out again," and she comes home, she opens the door for me, you know. And so when we did our investigation, we took a picture of the sliding door, and it looked like there was a man with his hand on the door, and he just peeking right through the sliding door. And the faces, they show up kind of like this. They show up in places where, and in one of our pictures, it looked like there was two faces looking straight at us. One face was below the other, and this is the weird stuff to explain because there's no body to the picture. It's to the face. You know, the face is just there by itself. And we have pictures like this what we think is really creepy, especially because of our incidents. And so I do find these pictures intriguing that you sent me over. And this is the kind of stuff that we like to upload. But if you, for example, the one you have where it's kind of blurry, it has an airplane in there. Pictures like this, like if we don't find nothing, we're not going to just trash it. We're going to still upload it. And hopefully, you know, maybe somebody else will see something that we didn't catch. Maybe it's something off in the corner of the picture that they called that we didn't catch. And that's the kind of stuff that we do. That's the reason why we like to do our ghost hunting, is to show people the whole image. Like you said, you're not always going to find something. So there is times when we record, we take pictures, and we ourselves do not find anything for the whole night. You know, so it looks kind of disappointing, but we still upload it. And then next thing you know, we get a comment saying, "Hey, you look like you have somebody's hand is showing over here. Do you know who that is?" And that's how the evidence kind of starts to show up. If we can highlight something that we found, then we will. But if we can't, we still upload the original picture, and we're hoping that, you know, somebody else will spot something that maybe we missed. But this this one you took here with the building, you know, I can see it's a huge building. It has to be. You know, I see a lot of doors and stuff like that. We would like to investigate locations like this. That would be great for us. spread it out.
Very. That is the first home of the state of Texas. The first home of Texas. Because when Texas became, dude, there's so much history. I don't even know where to start in that place. The ground itself is so tainted with history. Yeah, from what I heard, Santa Ana lived there. That building goes back to
Oh
1836.
wow, that's yeah.
Way back.
That goes way
Yeah.
back then. Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Ana actually slept in that building, and
No,
most of that stuff is original.
so they kept everything there. That's see,
Everything's
I
there,
like that. I like that.
and
Uh,
I'll say they're not bad as far as letting you guys investigate that place. It's pretty reasonable. And
we're
they
going to.
also have another building next door that's also uh, haunted.
Managed by the same people.
Yep, owned by the same people.
Oh, then that'd be great.
Yeah.
Owned by the same people.
It's like,
Before we get off the podcast, I will send you.
I'm sending you some few pictures so you can see what we found on some of the things that we've done. The first one I sent you, that's the one we got of the little boy from the missions.
Who's peeping through the door?
That's another little boy. That was from the house that we used to live at.
it's the one that keeps locking me out of the house. That one.
Oh, that is
Why we took those
crazy.
pictures, because it was creepy.
Now the last one that I sent you, if you zoom in, you'll see like 4 different faces on there. And one of those faces, I actually saw it with my eye come through the door, and I dropped my phone when I saw that.
Oh shit.
You see them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of them, but there's one of an elderly man, and he has like a Joker smile. If you look at it, he's got like this distinct face to him.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And the one, and the one that the little boy that keeps knocking me out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm pulling off my belt on him.
Yeah.
That's what I told him. I said, give me the chancla right now.
I'm pulling out my belt, man. You gonna learn not to lock that door on me, man.
Right? That's what I told me, guys. This little boy needs some discipline, mira.
He gonna learn. All right, hey guys, check it out. If you guys got a bucket list?
Yes, we do.
Okay, where would you guys like to investigate? On your-
My first thing would be, where did you say the last time that you wanted to go?
I wanted to go to a insane asylum, an old hospital that's been closed down.
Yeah.
I
would say a hospital for sure, like an old hospital.
I want to go
or
to a
something.
building, a building that I can say, let's investigate for the night. Because for some reasons, by the time we pack up everything, we drive over there. I don't want to be there for 30 minutes and then say, okay, let's go back home.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it all night.
I know you drive an hour just to be there for 10 minutes is not good.
Oh no, trust me, I've been there, done that, man.
So,
yes, I would say for sure like abandoned buildings that have history on them. That's our goal list right now. That's like one of our big things that we want to do.
Okay, cool.
yeah, as long as we can get a. I don't know if have you seen this one yet?
Yeah, I sent him that one.
Yeah. So this one with the boy, you can't even see it. Oh, this guy. Yeah, I think we sent you a picture like this.
Yeah.
So this is one of our last, incidents, and this is. I think I took one picture that night.
Just that one picture.
I just took one picture because, like I said, the kids got scared. They started crying, and we took off. And I was like, before we take off, let me take one picture because we kept hearing this wailing, crying sound that was so loud. And it was either something paranormal or it was coyotes. I haven't physically seen a coyote in San Antonio, but
we have them.
But we
have them.
Apparently we have them. But I took this one picture out of the window of my van, and I was facing the trees, like I was just facing the open area, and then I found this picture. It looks like a white boy wearing a dirty t-shirt. And I only took it because one of the kids kept saying that there was somebody at the window that he could see clearly, And then he started crying, and I was like, I gotta take a picture because I don't see nothing. Nobody sees nothing. And if I can get like a video, because pictures anybody can say you manipulated them. That's how we always upload the original. But if we can get some good videos of haunted locations and history. The reason we want to do the places that have history is because I can look up the history, and that's kind of like what I want to do. I want to look up the history of a building.
I drove around seconds.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Nobody would answer the damn phone.
Wow. Somebody, she walked in, just made all kind of noise.
It got quiet like kids in the room, right?
Talking about some sweet potatoes. I don't know.
That sounds good. No, but that's one of our goals is to just go to like abandoned buildings.
Well, you know what, guys? Take your time. Don't be in a rush. Enjoy the moment. The best advice I can give you guys, don't be stressed out about anything.
Yeah.
About what you guys are trying to accomplish, because eventually it will come.
Right.
Just stay simple. If you guys are, living a simple life, don't try to enhance it any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? So I've had a tendency of people who wants to investigate above their means, go out and buy $900 stuff and all that. No, man, you don't have to do all that.
We don't do that.
There's one device. One device.
I almost got away with saying we don't do that.
Yeah, look. There's one device, and I don't know if it's real or not, but it seems okay. Have you seen Huff Paranormal?
Who?
Huff Paranormal. HUF. All right, so
his little.
Okay, so this guy he calls it a spirit box, but I don't know how he uses it. And I don't know if it's baloney, but right now it sounds really intriguing. It's a device that he says he makes. He makes different versions every couple of months or every couple of years. He's been doing it for over a decade, but he has a big YouTube following. And he says that he makes these and he sells them. He sells the boxes, and basically you can have a communication with a spirit a lot more clearly. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it comes to equipment, that's pretty much the only equipment that I've had my eye on that I know I can't afford. But maybe I'll end up making it myself one day. But other than that,
I would say make it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Actually, I think it's called a geobox, if I'm right.
Yes, that's the one where he uses the little.
Those things are hella expensive.
Yeah.
I did a joint investigation with a team out of College Station, and they came up, and they had one. Trust me, it works fine, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg and a neck and an ear and half an eye for it.
Yeah, no. I tell them, I'm like, look, I'm happy the way we do things, where we get it on our phone, we can get it, just communicating by taking pictures or whatever. I was like, eventually we'll start, getting equipment here and there, but this is a hobby for both of us because we love everything about the paranormal, and we find it intriguing. And this is something for Miguel and I to do that doesn't always include the kids. This is like our date night. Date night is ghost hunting, and we love it. So it's like,
what? To be honest with you, Miguel, you're lucky because my wife, I think she's been on an investigation one time, and that was the last time.
You don't want to do it no more? Yeah,
I don't want to do it no more.
You're really lucky in that.
I mean, she might ride with me and hang out in the car.
No, I'm always like, let's go, let's do this.
But anything after that, she's not gonna do. I mean, I've invited her. She don't even go to the meet and greets when we have meet and greets at places.
She's like, no way.
She won't be bothered, But okay, yeah, she's over there eating ice cream right now. Banana pudding. Hey, you know what, guys? It has been a pleasure talking to you guys. Let's do this again.
Most definitely. And
a couple months from now.
Looking forward to hearing from you and your followers. we really appreciate this. We really do appreciate the opportunity you gave us today.
Oh, no problem at all. You guys got any questions? You guys have my personal number. Just give me a call. Stay in contact with me.
Likewise, and
That's
if
good.
you don't have anything for us, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to tag along with you if you go on another investigation. Maybe we can go with you and stuff. Check it out.
Are you guys willing to make that 2 hour drive up to Central Texas?
He
Yeah,
drives.
whoa.
He drives a lot.
I drive for a living. I mean,
That's what he does.
I have to drive, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you guys are ready for it, hey, there's several places I would love to take you to.
We'll go.
We're ready.
We'll go.
From abandoned nursing homes to haunted forests.
Oh
Not
yes.
forests, parks. It's a haunted
yeah.
park.
We're involved. We'll do it.
Just
No.
different places. Historic cemeteries.
Yeah.
That's been in movies. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
The home in
damn,
Waco, right?
huh?
Isn't the home in Waco the original home?
No, the original home is located somewhere in Round Rock.
It's in Round Rock. I thought it was
Yeah.
in Waco for some reason.
No, the original house is somewhere. See, and this is a very disclosed location.
Yeah.
Not too many people are not going to tell you, but the cemetery that was in that movie is in Leander. And you remember that road, that highway those little kids were on?
Yeah.
And during that movie, okay, that right there was filmed in between Leander and Round Rock.
See, I didn't know that. I thought it
Yeah.
was. I had heard in Waco for some reason. I didn't know why they kept saying Waco.
No, it's in Round Rock, but that cemetery is called Baghdad Cemetery.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, the place. Have you guys been to Fiesta, Texas? I'm pretty sure you have during the night.
Yes, it's 6
And
nights.
you know how festive it looks and how great it looks during the night with all the lights.
Right.
Okay, well that cemetery will kick Fiesta, Texas in the ass with all the festive lights that are in that cemetery. So whoever does it looks they're doing a hell of a job.
That's
during
crazy.
the
I want to
night.
go
I can
see
take
it.
you, huh?
I would like to go see it.
Oh, dude, that place is not only if it's historic, but it's not so more the lights doing the older graves, doing the graves that are more modern. Those guys are the ones that are doing all the lights, and all that stuff, just to honor and go hang out with their loved ones that have passed on. Yeah, dude, that place is really cool. Me and my boy Derek went up there. He's from San Antonio also. He came up. We did an investigation over there, and I think he had a really good time. And we actually, they had like a baby part of the grave of the cemetery. We actually caught like a little baby stick figure over there. It was pretty crazy. But if you think Fiesta, Texas looks good during the night, check out that cemetery.
All right. Well, I would love to. Like I said, we would. If you do any other investigations, let us know. We will make the drive out there. We will.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it now.
We need vacation time. We got 6 kids.
Actually, we were supposed to did the witch's grave last night.
Oh,
but,
wow.
I had to work, so I don't know if the other team members went. But this is on private property, and so it's not tainted with a lot of other paranormal investigators that's been there. So, but the guy that owns the place, one of my members are good friends with, so he wants to invite us in there. They also have a hanging tree where they supposedly hung the witch that was there.
We went to one of those.
She's actually in the grave that they hung her in, and apparently it was a little a black girl.
Aww.
But back then they considered anything and everything
a witch. Yeah, everything. If you looked at the moon too long, you were a witch.
Yeah.
They would do that. They give you
or if you drive, or if you just
dancing weird.
Yeah.
hanging around in the dirt, and you just draw one crazy sign, and you consider the witch.
It's
I
a
mean,
whole new Salem witch trial.
yeah.
They
So
did all of that hanging for no reason.
all that killing for no reason.
Yeah, they
And you
did.
know what? And the biggest hypocrite ever is Mary Sibley. Mary Sibley is the what's the head witch
Yep.
back in the Salem witch trials. So that
Mhm.
chick there was she did. You know how many people that didn't have to die because of her?
Yeah, there was a lot unnecessarily. And it was just because her light just kept progressing and she liked what she was seeing.
Yeah,
She was just evil.
she was just evil.
She
But
was
she,
a little girl who was throwing her tantrum because she couldn't get what she wanted.
yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, guys, hey, it has been a pleasure talking to you guys. Like I said, let's do it again. Hey, Miguel,
Absolutely.
you have my number. When you guys, if
Yes.
you guys just call me up and say, "Hey, T, we're heading up, set something up,"
All right.
and I can do that, no problem.
All right.
Hey, I can take you to a place. I guarantee you'll run all. You guys will run out of the 20 minutes. You actually get there.
Well,
That'd
we'll
be
be
great.
we'll be looking forward to it. We'll be in
And then,
touch with you for
right,
sure.
and then again, I can take you to a place that will make you cry.
Oh,
That'd be me.
Because it's so much sadness
You take
there.
me there. Test my
he
limits.
doesn't cry, so that would be perfect for him.
I'll have to take
Oh,
I
you will
cry.
cry. Trust me, you will cry on this one because it may. My buddy don't cry, but he cried that day.
Take me there, man. Sign me up.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna send you the video of him crying, and you will see. It's sad and it's pitiful. And I'm gonna send you that video as soon as I get out of the phone with you guys. I'm gonna send you that video when we were doing the. That was
All
weird.
right.
all
All
Boy,
right.
right.
that's crazy.
Perfect. And we'll
All
try
right.
to send you some of the stuff we caught too
Yeah.
in the
All
past,
right.
so you can check it
Hey.
out.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Hey,
you.
tell all the kiddos. Uncle Terry said hello.
It's likewise. Say hello, family, for us too. It was such a pleasure,
Hey,
and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Hey, thank
Again.
yes, hey, and reach out to me, man. I'm serious. We will
Yes,
go.
we will.
We will. We sure will.
And you guys, what I was gonna say something else. Well, oh yeah, feel free to share this podcast with anybody, everybody. It's open. If you want it, you can just go out on my podcast, NSPS TV Paranormal, and get it,
Yeah.
or YouTube or Twitch, however you want to get it, you can get it,
All
and
right.
just share it all. Hopefully we all get famous one day.
Yes.
Sounds
All right. Thank you so
All right,
much.
guys, you guys have a good night now. Miguel, give me a call, brother.
Yes, sir.
We will. I
Bye.
will for
All
sure.
right, bye.
Everybody else that joined in,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
No problem. Good night,
Bye.
guys. I need a light. Can you cut me a light on? All right, guys. It is dark. I am trying to get a light, man. I don't have any light here. But anyway, yeah, I need a light. There you go. Thank you. Hey, Anthony, you're a little late, buddy. Hi. You're a little late, Anthony. You need to call me, man. Well, I need to charge my phone, then you can call me. Hey, but anyway, hey, check these guys out, man. They are really trying to make their mark in the world. So, hey, go show a lot of love to them. All you San Antonio paranormal investigators I talk to, hey, and go share some love with them. They're really trying to do good things. Hey, take them under the wing, show them. Be patient with them. And just do what you do. You know what I'm saying, Anthony? Yeah, that takes you back, huh? All right. Well, you know what, dude? I am about to get out of here to watch my Broncos beat up on the Cowboys. I don't care if it's just preseason. I want them to kick their ass. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, hey, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys next week on the Texas Four Corners Paranormal Podcast. Hey, congratulations to all the participants that were selected in this. You know, let's do it. Let's do it better than what we did last time. You know what I'm saying? Peace.